get in there and get this hammered out and get this relationship back where it needs to be.
The best way I can help is to figure it out myself.
Looking at interruptions more like opportunities. Do you like it? You don't like
Oh my gosh, just get out of my story.
We would not have done blackjacks if Sarah wasn't on board.
Welcome to the Coffee Snob Podcast. Everyone in YouTube land, Facebook land, everywhere on the internet. We love you. We thank you for tuning in, and it's just awesome to be able to share our story, to share with you our wonderful friends.
Yeah.
We got Sarah on today. Sarah Ground is the manager and partner in Blackjack's Coffee out of Dublin, and soon to be new location. Soon to come. Not going to say too much about it yet. But anyway, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hey Sarah.
Hello.
I'm so glad you get to join us.
Me too.
So Sarah's like my favorite, and she manages everything at Blackjack's, all the day-to-day, everything. And she's really just such a blessing to us. And she came along, how many years ago?
I think it was about 7.
7 years ago. Ooh, lucky. It's lucky number 7.
Yeah, so from the get-go, I would just say we couldn't have done it without Sarah.
No, we wouldn't have done it without Sarah.
Yeah, wouldn't have done it without
Would
Sarah.
not have done it.
So yeah,
Yeah.
made it all possible, Sarah.
It's been lots of fun.
Yeah, lots of fun, lots of work, lots of fun. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about, so Lance I'll let you tell in just a sec, but Lance, so we've known Sarah since she was just a kid. Probably since you were like 17?
Yeah, probably about like senior year, something like that.
Yeah. Been friends with her family, friends with her, and then at some point early on, she worked at Starbucks with Lance.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
So yeah, I think I think you were like looking for a job, or I forgot what it was, but basically I said to my manager at the time, hey, she's gonna be really good. You need to hire her for sure. And then right away she got hired, started moving up, supervisor position, like nailed it. And then she found a better job and left us.
Bye, Starbucks.
So yeah, that was sad, but always kind of kept in mind, hey, if I ever do my own place, Sarah was really awesome. We need to try to get Sarah. So
just file that away.
yeah, it was in the back file somewhere. And so yeah, when I started doing Lingoville Country Store, we said, hey, let's try to get some good people. Called Sarah up. She had a good job at the time. And then I said, it's worth it. It's worth paying the extra to get Sarah on board, because Sarah's going to make it happen. And if we ever wanted to do another location, like, she would be the one. And so, yeah, just having that kind of, not really like that security, but that knowing of like, this person could replace me.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was looking for, is to be replaced. So you got to have the right person for that. And yeah, Sarah, we're just singing Sarah's praises today.
She's the best.
Way to go, Sarah.
So tell us about when you first came in, because when you first came on board, we didn't have Blackjacks, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So, I was working at a chiropractor's office actually, and I was working from Monday to Friday, and I realized just, I really don't like sitting there doing paperwork. Love the people that I work with, love the job, just wanted something else. And so Lance called and I was like, I can work weekends. And so I came in and we didn't even have the espresso machine yet. And
is that right? It was that early on?
Yeah. And we had,
before the beginning.
Yeah, before the beginning. And there was like an office chair back here. I just kind of like sit and wait for the customers.
So this is flashing back to like pre-2017.
I don't know if I want to go back.
I mean, so this countertop is raised up about, up here. It was like this low. And so you could sit in a chair like this and it would be like right here about. And I remember my best friend's grandpa used to sit in that chair, and he would sit back there, and all he had back there was like, you know, I don't know, like I knew he had a 357 and like a cash box, and that was pretty much it. And you could come in and you could get stuff from the store, and it was just, yeah, he was rough and tumble. That was the good old school days.
Wild West.
Yeah,
that sounds like the Wild West.
It was the Wild West, yeah. So Sarah got a little taste of that country store where it was still the original.
It was the register
setup.
with I would have to look on the page, and I was like, okay, $4.
Were you here when we had the big glass
Yes,
case?
yeah.
Okay, so we had another big glass case over here. And yeah, it was just, there was hardly anything in it by that time. Yeah. But you know, they used to put like pocket knives in there and like valuables that you could like say, I want one of those. I mean, it was like
I think we had
school.
Cigars in it or something.
There's no telling what was in it.
It
like
wasn't
Swisher Sweets.
Yeah, like
surely not.
crappy cigars.
But yeah.
I think you're right. I think it was like
something
grape
was in
flavored.
there. Yeah. I don't know.
But
I needed to go.
Sarah, I forgot that you have been here that long.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just on the weekends though. But
yeah, okay.
It was really, it's fun. Like just, I mean, we were a little bit slower back then, and like I would sit back there, and there was a book back there, and it was the history of Lingleville, and I don't know why it was back there, but like during my downtime, I'd be like,
I wrote it.
You know, and it was just really cool to, like, that was my intro into Lingleville culture, and it was just like,
Welcome.
Oh, thank you. But it was just really fun, and like love the customers over at the store. And then, so started working on the weekends, and then maybe, how old's Grant? 7?
Yeah, he was born in May of 2017.
So about 2017, Lance and Chelsea approached me and were like, hey, if we open another store, would you run it for us? And would you come on full time? And so I was like, yes. Yeah. So we left that job and then came over here and started working full time at Lingleville.
Got her full time.
Full time at Lingleville, but really do you feel like you really, though, always had in the back of your mind, like, it won't be the country store forever, like, we're going to do something new?
Yeah, I think so. Or just that the store would grow. Even if I stayed here, like, I think there was going to be growth somewhere. So.
Yeah.
Can we eat some pie?
Okay, we got a delicious tasting. We need to take a break from history, and I keep looking at that screen. Sorry, I need to look at you, not up there. So anyway.
Oh.
We.
I'm not looking at the right
She's
spot
not looking
either.
at you either. We're really sorry. We're not looking you in the eyes. Anyway. So we have a delicious piece of chocolate pie here, and then we have a few of our delicious craft beers that we tried with my mom. So we got some different ones this time. And so yeah, we're gonna crack some of these open. I know it's probably, summertime when this is coming out. So we got some good ones for you for summertime. That's kind of what my thought was. Okay, I'm gonna pour some of these up.
Pie? Can we have pie?
Yeah, go for it.
Are these gonna go with the pie?
So no, probably not. But this is the chocolate pie that we have here at the store. This is made with a 62% cocoa dark chocolate. So it's really, really rich. And this is a recipe that we got from
a Lingleville lady.
Yep, a lady.
Well, she's really was from Bunyan.
It's like 5 minutes past Lingleville.
It's not a real town, but it is to people that live there.
People know about it, but it's not a real town anymore. Sorry, Bunyan.
It's got a sign.
It does have a sign. Jared's from Bunyan.
Jared's from Bunyan.
My grandma's from Bunyan.
It's a town.
Your grandma's from?
Mm-hmm. Nana.
Oh, this is so good.
Nana lives in Bunyan.
Nana from Bunyan.
Yep.
This is good. Okay.
Homemade whipped cream. So good.
Dude, okay, so another thing is I don't do meringue on pies right now. Meringue's fun. We dump a lot of egg whites even. It's not that like we can't do meringue. I just like whipped cream way better. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but I'm telling you, like, if I had to eat whipped cream versus meringue, I would pick whipped cream every single time. So that's why we stick with whipped cream. So sorry, meringue lovers. We just, we're going to go with whipped cream. Maybe one day we'll do like a lemon meringue pie or something.
Be good.
I don't know. Probably not.
Stop making promises.
I've had some really bad experience with lemon meringue pie because I make it from scratch. And it's not a recipe that you can really double very well. You can make one, but if you try to make more than one in the same batch, like I don't know what it does different chemically or cooking wise, but I can never get it to set up. And I have made so many lemon meringue pies that have just been liquid in the end, and I cannot do it anymore.
Yeah.
Will not do it anymore.
The lemon meringue pies are responsible for a couple emotional meltdowns.
Sometimes you just have to come home and cry. It sounds like we have a customer coming in.
Oh no.
Okay, so we've got one for you. Hey, sorry, we're closed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my bad. It's Sundays. It happens. It happens during the podcast too. We probably need to lock the door. Hey, it's fun. This is real life, okay? This is real life, and this is
so
what happens.
real. We're just so genuine.
I hate turning a customer away. I mean, I'm here, but I mean, unless he wants to sit down and have some crackberry Bishop cider with me, which I don't know if he's probably not into that. Anyway, this is Bishop Crackberry. It is a cranberry tart, kind of sweet. Let me see. We got apple cider, cranberry juice, and blackberry juice.
They're gonna go with my chocolate pie.
No, it's not going to go with the chocolate pie. Well, I don't know. It might. Cranberry, blackberry. I don't know. We're about to find out. Ooh, it's tart. It's sweet. It's a little dry.
It's good.
It's good. It's got a really
I think it kinda goes with the
fermenty smell.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with a cider. And
It's a cider.
this is a really good one.
It's really bright.
Yeah,
It's kind of refreshing.
yeah, refreshing poolside kind of cider. Yeah,
Poolside.
Poolside.
We don't have a pool.
We don't
Back
have a-
porch.
maybe like the public pool. If you had it in like one of those
And your
big
Stanley.
to go
Put
in a
in your
Stanley.
Stanley.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't do that. We don't do that. But I know people who do. Anyway, so that's the cider. Y'all like that? It's pretty good.
It's good.
It's hard.
You
to
know what? It's a lot of cranberry. It's like
is.
if you like cranberry
It's a lot of
juice,
crackberry.
you would like that.
The can's super cool. So Bishop started doing these taller cans with all the cool artwork on them. And they actually bought Wild Acre Brewery in Fort Worth.
Oh, really?
And so now all the Wild Acre cans look like this too. They're super cool. So Texas Blonde went from like the really classic blue bonnet on the front to like this crazy cowboy Sundance Square kind of look. It's really nice. Anyway, yeah, so Bishop Cider doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay, this is gonna be, that was a layup. That was super easy. This one's gonna be a little different. This is a German beer. This is Paulaner Hefeweizen. This is, so like if you ever don't have a bottle opener too, like check this out, okay? You just get whatever piece of metal that you have, and then you just pry it off. There you go. That's how you do that. You can use any, metal or plastic or anything hard, really. It works really good. That's the pro tip right there. Anyway, this is a Hefeweizen, so it's gonna have some nice banana notes from the yeast that... Banana.
We've been watching the Great British Baking Show.
It has some banana notes from the yeast. Oh, somebody, anybody? So yeah, you wanna get the banana, and this is actually a really light, refreshing beer. It's a wheat beer. Okay, so Paulaner Hefeweizen. This is a really, really popular Hefeweizen. It's super good. This is like one of the top Hefeweizens that I have. It's this, Franzigsteiner, or...
Can you say that again, please?
Franzigsteiner.
Bless you.
I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. It's something like that. It's German, so I don't know German. I'm from Texas, so...
I liked it. I liked it when you said that.
Yeah, so you get you smell that kind of like sweet banana, but almost like a spice. It's got some clove kind of spice to it. That's all from the yeast. They don't actually add banana or add clove or anything to this, but those notes come out really strong in it because of the yeast that they use.
I like this beer.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of like my style, right? Is this the kind I like?
It's a wheat beer. It's good. It's light. This is a really good summertime beer too. If you wanted something more interesting than just like your pale ale or just Pilsner or lager, you know, it's just kind of like, this is going to give you that little bit of interesting flavor note. So these would be good to like bring to a party if like you wanted to get people out of their comfort zone, but still give them something that they like.
Well, I think it's just really flavorful.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's got a lot of flavor to it, but it's still
like,
light.
It's like, you know, it's got that yummy bread and butter kind of vibe.
Germans can make really good beer. And the cool part about German beer too is like some beers in the US, like they have all kinds of stuff in them. It's crazy. But in Germany, for it to be a beer, you can only put certain things in it. So you can only have hops, yeast, grain, and water. And that's it. If you put anything else in it, they'll like outlaw you in Germany. So yeah.
What do you mean, like preservatives?
Well, that too, yeah. You can't put preservatives in it. You can't start adding like flavors and stuff. It's just grain,
Beer
yeast,
is beer.
hops. That's it.
I like it.
Go
It's really
Germany.
good.
Good job. You know, I never really was crazy about German beer when I first got into craft beer. But then when I started brewing beer on the side, that's when I started really appreciating what they were doing in Germany, because it's just the simplicity of them taking something, just a simple process, not overcomplicating everything, not adding like graham crackers and marshmallows to their mash.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we do in America. Like
It's just classic.
yeah, and
Goodness.
they just nail it. And
simple.
And something like this, to have like that many flavor notes coming out at you, but it still just be 3 ingredients and water.
Do you like it, Sarah?
Yeah, it's good. Like right, I don't really taste the banana until later,
Yeah,
and then it's like, oh, like
super delicious.
a lot of banana.
I like a good Hefeweizen. And
Banana.
that is a
Banana.
good Hefeweizen.
Excuse me, banana.
So what kind of beers do you like if you have beers? Do you like stuff like ciders, sours?
Do you like beer?
Yeah, I do.
Because Julie, remember?
I just know I don't like porters. They're a little
So you don't like dark beers?
right.
Okay,
There's some that taste a little metallic-y to me, and I just can't.
Yeah. Well, one of the off notes, and especially in brown ales and porters, can be like a metallic taste. So you get that every once in a while, but you know,
Do you like
a
IPAs?
Yeah, I like IPAs. Those are good.
Okay.
There's another one, I can't remember what it is, but it tastes like an herb my mom used to give me when I was a kid, and I was like, nope.
I almost grabbed an IPA.
I can't ever remember, so I grabbed one, and I'm like,
star
no,
anise
that's the
in it.
one. That's the one I didn't
I
like.
feel like I'm sick in bed.
I'm feeling better now, I guess. Yeah.
I almost grabbed an IPA, but then I thought you guys might turn your nose up at it, and I would be offended, so I did not grab one.
IPAs are pretty good.
I don't personally like IPAs. I think that the craft beer industry has like gone on like a crazy competition to like who can have the nastiest, bitterest hops. They're like, who can make it the most bitter?
Well,
They're
that's West Coast.
like
That's just
scoring
West Coast.
it like,
Yeah.
oh, it's this bitter. I'm like, bitter? Like that's like what I'm trying to avoid. Is
Yeah.
bitter.
Well, you know, okay, so here's the deal. With bitterness is necessary. Like even this beer, it has some bitterness to it. But because it's not so sweet, you don't need as much bitterness. So if the bitterness is really coming through and hitting you real hard, then it's because the beer's not balanced. I've had some beers that are like 100 IBUs. And that's really, really bitter for a beer. But because they're so sweet and concentrated, then it doesn't really come out, because you have to have that bitter, sweet balance. It would just taste way too sweet if not. But this is a good balanced beer. It's good.
It's really good.
I don't know if it has any info on here. Nope.
They don't put the IBUs because they're not bragging about it.
1634 is when Polliner was founded. So yeah.
Oh.
Thank you, monks. Thank you, good Christian monks who made beer. Good folks.
Good folks.
Good folks at the monasteries made that for us.
It's delicious. You'll have to bring some of that home.
Okay. You got yourself a deal. Okay. True Love is the next one.
You want a fresh cup?
This is from our very own Texas brewery there in Fort Worth, Martin House Brewing Company. Beautiful can here. True Love. Raspberry Sour Ale. And I'll just tell you, when Martin House says it's a sour ale, people, it is a sour ale. They don't mess around. It's not like a lot of other places where it's just a little sour. Like these people hit you in the back of the tongue.
Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this.
So, but this is a really good one. So if you notice, there's kind of a pink hue to that, and it's because they put raspberry in this. Oh, this has beer in it.
You want a fresh cup?
A fresh cup, Chels. If not, it's gonna taste like bananas.
Okay.
So just get ready because it is gonna be sour, but here's the thing. When it's like super hot outside, you want this like tangy, tart kind of thing going on. And the way they make this sour, it's beautiful. They actually, I think they kettle sour this stuff. And so it actually is from bacteria. And so they actually ferment this with bacteria, heat it up, kill all the bacteria, and then they add yeast to it and they make the beer. Super cool process. So it's tangy, you're like, woo, but it's super good. You get that like bready, but like super raspberry finish. It finishes really nice.
Kind of reminds me of Sour Heads. Sour Heads? Is that what they're called?
Warheads.
Warheads.
Oh, it does kind of hit you. Not quite.
It's not as sweet.
Not as hard hitting as a warhead, but like
It's pretty close.
It's getting there. Like a warhead almost burns your tongue. This is good. It's drinkable. It's doable.
It actually makes like my mouth water after I take a drink.
And honestly, like I like these because like when I have a beer, I might have like one or two in an evening. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and drink like a whole 6-pack. These you can't drink a whole 6-pack because you'll have like, you know, acid reflux after, you know, it's just way too much acid. But you know, for one or two, they're really nice to have just outside, enjoying them with chocolate pie or, oh my gosh, I bet this goes so good.
No way.
Yes, you watch this. Watch this.
Lance, stop.
Oh, got it.
There's no
Just give
way.
me a sec, Joe. Try it. Oh my gosh, it goes good. Yes, yes. So chocolate and raspberry actually go really well together.
Oh, sorry.
That's what gave me that idea anyway. And honestly, like the mildness and the sweetness of this paired with like the tangy tart of this, it really goes well.
I'm trusting you right
It's
now.
working. It's a nice balance. No. Yes.
I like a raspberry, but not the sour part with it.
It actually does, like, it actually is fine together. Actually, I think it's better. This is better with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And any good pairing should make whatever you're pairing with it better. It actually brings out like more of like a grapefruit, but not that hard-hitting bitter grapefruit, but like the acidic side, the citrus side of like a grapefruit. To me, it brings out a lot more citrus in this with the chocolate.
Pretty nice. Which one was your favorite, Sarah?
Probably the German beer.
This one?
Yep.
Are you German?
Simplicity
I'm German.
wins again.
It's in my blood.
Really?
It's in her blood. She's got German lineage.
Oh, that explains
It was
it.
a given. We
What do
should've
you
known.
think? Which one?
I like the German beer. I'm
Really?
not German,
You
but
know,
I just liked it. It's just like a good.
I am also, I think, number 1, number 2, number 3 for me. I really like the True Love. That's been, I don't know, it's been one of my true loves over the years.
I'm
One,
okay.
not the true love
All
of
right.
my life.
Okay.
Chelsea. Okay, and I have
Moving on.
a little surprise. We have
What?
one more of Jamaica's finest peach ginger beer. So this actually isn't alcoholic. It's just ginger beer. But this is a peach ginger beer that we got in our craft soda section. And so we have like, I don't know, probably 40 different craft sodas at any given time. And so, yeah, we try to mix those up. But we wanted to try one of these today, too, because these are delicious.
And because it has beer in the name.
Well,
So it's like a
we were
beer
doing a beer
tasting?
tasting, and I wanted to make sure that,
It's not beer.
that was okay. It is beer. It says it on the label. It's beer that kids can drink.
Have your Jamaica ginger beer
It's
and
kind
a
of like a root beer.
candy cigarette on the side.
Oh, yeah, candy cigarettes.
Do y'all have the chewing tobacco gum?
No.
We have
need to get the jerky
all
snuff.
vices in beer.
Yeah.
I mean, all vices in candy kit form here at the country store.
That's bad.
Actually, not really. We just have candy cigarettes, though. Check these out. So we had a store meeting the other day. Really serious, kind of like we're going over like, hey, guys, you can't give your partner, your discount, employee discount to everybody who comes in the store. Hey, guys, we're generous, but we ain't that generous. But
Also, we're changing up. This is how we're going to do the pour over for this new coffee.
yeah, so we
pay
had
attention.
a lot of serious stuff. But then it was funny because as we're talking about all this serious stuff, we had a pack of candy cigarettes, and everybody was like, "This number here." Here, you take one.
No.
Everybody was like this.
No.
So wait, with this new pour over
Everybody
method,
was like this,
it's what
talking.
about? Yeah, they take it out and then talk a little, and then they go. And then actually, when Gideon got his, he was like. It's just hysterical. So yeah, I'm glad that we can have a good time with our employees.
We should
even though-
finish the podcast like this.
even though that
Because
these are candy sticks. These aren't even candy cigarettes. I don't think they say candy cigarettes anywhere on the package anymore.
Is
Yeah.
it like ingredient
It
sugar?
just says Stallion Candy. But everybody knows they're candy cigarettes. When we were kids, it was okay to have candy
everybody
cigarettes.
smoked.
Yeah,
Your parents smoked. Everybody smoked.
yeah.
Nobody smokes now.
But then everybody started dying from it, so they started frowning upon that.
I don't know.
Not everybody. I mean, you got those guys that are like, I'm 80 and I'm still smoking and it works. So yeah,
Your time is your time.
that's right. Okay, so the ginger brew, the peach ginger brew is actually pretty good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's not super sweet for a soda.
It actually is not.
And that ginger, do you get that spice?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gives you that in your nose.
Do you like it?
Ugh.
You don't like
Come on, you
I'm sorry.
you lived in Asia for how long?
Well, but I think it's the peach. I think it's the peach.
What were
And
you?
the ginger.
You were in China for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
6 months in China. Girl don't like ginger.
She said she likes ginger. It's the peach.
The peach
Ooh.
stuff.
It goes in your nose.
It does
Like
go
it
in your
immediately
nose.
goes in your nose. It's like a horseradish.
I might
almost.
need a
I
tissue.
like wasabi.
So,
Fire.
yeah. Yeah, Sarah's actually traveled all over the world. She's just so fun and well-rounded. She when she was working, when did you go to China? Before you came to work for
Mhm.
us?
Yeah.
She lived in China, and that was cool.
Yeah.
And then since working here, then she took a time off and she lived in Turkey for
Like 2 months.
2 months.
2 months. Yeah.
Because I have awesome bosses and they were just like, yeah, go.
Go
Yeah.
to Turkey and live there for a while.
It's fine.
Which was cool.
When she left, I had a nervous breakdown.
Got back, I was like, sorry. Sorry, friends.
You gotta take care of your folks.
Yeah, no.
I didn't really have a nervous breakdown, but close. It's close.
Which is just why we should surround ourselves with good people. We need Sarah.
Yeah.
And so it's just been such a blessing. But yeah, anything from like your travels and things that you like dream about bringing to the store or to the shop, or have you already done that in some way?
I don't know. I guess I brought a sandwich just recently that was I got to go to Australia.
Oh yeah.
So fun.
She's been to Australia.
But they had a sandwich there that I loved, and I also went to California and they had something really similar, and so I brought that over to Blackjack's.
What's it called?
It's called the brekkie,
The brekkie.
because that's what you call breakfast in Australia. Brekkie.
The brekkie.
So
What's on it?
Australians have so many little things that they like shorten.
they're like, I didn't know a better word for
We
that.
know
It's like
because
a
we watch
it's like a
Bluey.
nickname for like regular words.
Yeah,
Like they
Yeah.
give breakfast a nickname. Hey, brekkie.
brekkie. Let's go out for brekkie.
Cute.
Yeah. So yeah, that sandwich has a fried egg, ham, Swiss cheese, bacon, avocado, arugula, and then we do a homemade honey mustard on it. It's really good.
Well,
So,
we need to do that at the new location too.
It's really good.
It's going to happen.
So, but other than that, I don't know
That's fun.
what else I brought. They do baby chinos and they just do like froth milk with some chocolate powder on top for
Wait.
kids.
For kids, baby chinos, like
Baby
a cappuccino with no coffee.
Do they put like vanilla or something in it?
No,
Is
they
it
just
sweet?
Froth milk with a little cocoa powder.
So like you could do like
No sweetener.
well, you could do, I don't think they do, but you could do like a mocha base with has the powdered sugar in it and stuff. It'd be really good. But
That would
anyways,
be good.
and they just eat it with a spoon. So precious.
The foam with the
little kids
spoon.
with a
I know.
spoon and foam.
So
As
we
long
might
as
bring
it's
that one.
great foam, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wouldn't let my kids eat bad foam.
Don't
Okay.
eat
Be
that.
like, "Psh, no.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so you came and you started at Lingoville, and we were rocking along. Then 2020 hits, and then we are still like we had groceries and we're a convenience store, so we're still open during the pandemic. In fact,
Because we're a grocery store.
we were open and busier than ever, really. And we were doing dinner nights, which I still have a little PTSD from.
Ooh.
I was pregnant with
That's when we started
Lester.
doing dinner nights, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's like people were going crazy and they just wanted to go out for dinner.
yeah. And we don't have a lot of room for you to sit and stay here anyway, so you could just grab
So
your
it was
stuff.
all to go. It just worked out. And so
Yeah.
we were doing like big dinner nights.
Yeah.
In fact, we just did another big dinner night. We served 170 etouffee stuffed baked potatoes
Yeah,
with
that's
fried shrimp over the top. That was a crazy night.
It was wild.
But I had 2 potatoes left over at the end of the night. 2.
Yeah. So we were doing
Busy.
dinner nights and things were kind of moving, and then Blackjack's in Dublin kind of came up, and it wasn't even Blackjack's, it was just a concept, just like a little baby idea.
Well, y'all have heard the story. We had another podcast where we kind of talked about the beginnings of Blackjack's, but this is when all that happened.
Yes. And so then that little baby idea became like a little baby store, and then Sarah just took it and she just ran with it. And so tell us a little bit about that experience, like not only switching from, really, because Lingoville Country Store is a different animal than Blackjack's. I would say this is like a hybrid cafe/convenience store, where Blackjack's is really a cafe, truly.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about transitioning to there and transitioning to being your own boss.
So I guess like the transition was pretty difficult just because we had so much pushback just with like, remember that cardboard we put over the refrigerator because it was broken?
Oh my gosh.
And
So
it
there's,
was just like
growing
thing
pains.
after thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
And so opening was just tough. But once we got past that, it was like, okay, we got it. I think I really missed Lingoville customers. Like I built relationships with them, and then it was like going to Dublin, starting over. And so that was a little bit of a jump for me. But now we have our regulars, and it's just a good community over there now. But I guess like as far as transitioning into not assistant manager, but manager, that was pretty difficult. It just like, it really shows you kind of, I don't know, just like the small questions I would ask you when I was here. And I'd be like, someone would ask me the same thing, and I'm like, figure it out, And so you just don't know like how much that kind of adds on, And so that was a good lesson for me of just like, hey, the best way I can help is to figure it out myself, And so, but that was a little difficult. Managing people is difficult in some ways. It's really good in other ways. But just, knowing what to say, when to say it, how to really train people to the places you need them to be, And so, but yeah, I had a ton of help, like great starting crew over there when we first got going. So, but yeah.
I would say one of the biggest things that I've noticed over the years is usually when I'm hiring people, like there'll be something inside me that says either this person's going to be super awesome, or this person is going to be somebody you can work with and kind of help along the way, or this person is not going to work. What are you doing hiring them? Why are you hiring them? And if I listen to that voice, then I do really, really good. But it's when, like, the only trouble that I've ever had is when I'm like, be quiet, you, and I just say like, we can make this person work. I want this person to be a part of our team because I want to show them what that is to be a part of a family and a team. And a lot of times it's like, if they don't already have that established, it's really hard to get them into that. But I've even had people leave, or me just say, hey, it's not going to work out or whatever, and then come back and tell me like, this is like, being a part of y'all's team was one of the best things that I've went through in my life. And thank y'all so much for loving me. And that's been really cool to see that, because there's been some people that I feel like they could have made it, but they didn't have the capacity at the time. And then so they just had to hang it up because I was just giving them more chances. And then some people that, I just had to say, hey, like, get off of your phone. You're not here to be on your phone. Like, this isn't going to work out. And those are really hard conversations. Like I thankfully, in all the years that I've done this, I've only had to like really let one or two people go like that. I think maybe one person I've had to have a conversation with just because of like time theft. But other than that, like, it's been really good.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that is because I try to hire people who are gonna work for this. Like, it takes a personality to be able to do this, to be able to focus on the details of making something excellent, and then also to focus on the person across the counter. And I just really try to find those people. And what's really cool, again, about this new location that we're coming up with is that all these people are already coming to me, and I feel like that person's going to be a super good fit. That person's going to be a super good fit. That person's going to be awesome. That person I don't know about. It's just kind of like bam, 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 like all these people coming, and so it's really exciting because I feel like God's just bringing us really good people. Just like you said, it really helps to have a super awesome starting team.
Yeah.
And because I have months and months to like kind of prep that, find those people, it works out because I can get the awesome people because I have months in advance, versus kind of being under the knife over here sometimes and being like, I I need somebody now bad. And so sometimes I would just hire the next person who comes along, and sometimes it just doesn't work like that. So that said, so we got good people. And then another thing that you mentioned was all the growing pains from a new shop, because like, it's one thing to like get it set up in theory and it's supposed to work. And then it's an entire another thing for it to be like actually running,
up and running,
you know? And when you're putting it through its paces, when you're starting, it's just like one thing breaks and then another thing breaks. And then that's not actually going to work like that. And then this needs to be moved, but the countertop's already there. So we got to switch stuff. And it's like, it gets a little crazy sometimes.
Well, I think in that one, like this one, we grew slowly.
Yeah.
And it was like, we had a espresso machine. Oh, we added one item on the food menu. And then Blackjack's, we were like, we got all this, we're going to take it all over there. And then like, I remember like maybe second day we were open, we were like, we don't have mixing bowls for muffins. And we sent someone to the store to go get it. And we're just like, just throwing it all in at once. So it's just a totally different.
Who was supposed to get those?
I'm like,
my job.
So yeah, that was it was just a completely different start up, so
it's fun.
and just, things that you don't think about needing or doing.
When we
it
had
just
that
runs
big cooler,
over here.
we had like a big cooler.
It was so nice.
And it was open. And so you can just reach in and grab whatever it was that you wanted out. But then
it wasn't staying at 40 degrees.
We had so much equipment packed into this little building that the AC unit couldn't keep up. So it was like 80 degrees in there. And then the cooler wasn't supposed to run above 73 or something like that. So it's over temp and it's working itself to death. The things aren't getting cold. The building's super hot. So I think we ended up putting some cardboard over it just to hold some of the
we go
cold
out
in.
to Lance's truck. He just pulls all these cardboard boxes out, and he's like, "Sometimes you just can't take no for an answer." And just starts getting, and we tape it up there. So we're like, and we grab something, and then but we had all of our groceries in it too. So our lettuce was freezing because the cardboard would keep it too cold.
Oh my gosh!
And
such a mess. It was such a mess.
I don't want to go. I don't.
But that's how it is. I mean, that's how it is when you're opening new stuff, and when you're managing even, because I'm sure you've experienced some of this where you cannot let that cooler answer no. The answer is yes. You took no for an answer, and that's kind of even there's a guy here that we're about to slide over to Blackjack's, and the other day I think the card reader wasn't working or something like that, and he calls me and he's like, the card reader's not working, and that's that's pretty standard to get a call like that. But I'm like, no, this is part of what you're gonna have to do in a few weeks. That's on you. Figure it out. And I said the problem is that you're letting the card reader tell you no. You don't take no for an answer. Make it work. And I just hung up the phone. And get this, 5 minutes it was working.
Yeah.
And it was just he just needed the push. He just needed to get the grit to push in a little harder and say, I'm gonna make this work no matter what. And so that's just what it takes sometimes. It takes cardboard on the front of the cooler. Yeah. But then it gets too cold. Then you gotta take some of it off.
So you just figured it out. Throw it out and get a new cooler.
Oh, the growing pains. Yeah, and then we got rid of it.
So what is your favorite thing, Sarah, about Blackjack's?
My favorite thing.
Your favorite.
Gosh. I mean, customers. We got some pretty good people over there. And just being able to, just keep up with them. People come into your store maybe once a week, and you're just hey, how did that, job interview go or whatever? And then really getting to know them, and not just here's your coffee, have a good day, and it makes work. I think that was partly from my previous job. I didn't have very, very good people interaction. And so just because of the nature of the job. And so that's all I could say was hey, bye, And so I think that's probably one of my favorite things is getting to talk and really knowing the people at the store. So.
And you're not necessarily an extrovert either.
I think I am.
You are?
But I'm only like, oh no, the tests. I'm like 60-40, so it's very close.
Very close.
Like
Yeah.
a little bit. But if I had a weekend, maybe a couple weekends ago, and I was just around people all weekend, I was like, I forgot. Like, I am an extrovert. Like, I felt so good.
I feel
so full. Yeah.
I'm not even tired. It's 3 a.m.
Oh my gosh, that's us. That's us all day long. If I'm around people, I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then I get home and I'm like, what was I thinking? I like literally just like face down crash on the bed with my boots on.
He
still.
does that. Then I'll go untie his boots and take them off for him. Go put the kids to bed.
Thanks, Mom.
Well, I worked for Lance, was yesterday, and I was kind of like, I have so much to do, and yesterday was actually a Saturday, and that's my Sabbath, and so I was like, I don't want to work. And then when I got home and I was talking to Lance, I was like, I had so much fun, and I think it is just the energy of like the people and like making them something they like, but also getting to visit. So just, getting to just love on people here. And there's so much opportunity, but then I also got to work with like our employees, and they're fun and funny, and they're young. And so they just have all this energy, and they're silly, and it's like, it's my jam. And so I was like, I didn't know I'd be so rejuvenated just working. I mean, it was just like a 6-hour shift, but I was like, I love it. Like, this was fun. So I think that, not just being an extrovert, but I think that helps, to really enjoy the work and be able to be outgoing, but also just having human interaction and adult interaction, because, I'm around kids a lot. And I love being around my kids, but there's something special just about adult interaction.
Yeah. And I would say like one of the things that I think looking back now, I didn't know what it was then, but I think the fact that you like the interaction with the people, and then like not only that, but you like making something excellent, something unique, something original that you can share with that person. Like, that's what makes a really good barista. That's what makes a really good leader in an environment like this, is that you really do love the people. That's what makes it. If we miss the people, then we miss the entire point. And I even think that's like, we had a conversation about a month ago or something, and it was like things were becoming just heavy, and it just wasn't it wasn't joy anymore coming in. And it was really because we get to this place sometimes where we walk in and it's not about the people anymore. It's just this job that we have to do. And all of a sudden we miss all the good qualities about it.
Well, I think it's just like, it's I guess like, there's like you always talk about like, oh, I'm putting out fires today. Like this thing broke. These people need to talk. I need to go get this from HEB, blah, blah, blah. And so like those can take all your focus. And so it's very hard sometimes to like take a step back and be like, hey, I'm not going to be distracted by the fires. Mm-hmm. Like
that's good.
When it's just, because it just crushes, And so, and then especially in a management position too, when those fires crush you, it's like it crushes the whole place, because you're kind of setting the standard of like, hey, I'm coming in here today, I'm going to smile, even though I'm putting out a fire. Like, I'm going to have fun putting out this fire. Yeah. And if you don't, then it's like, but yeah, I think they're just all distractions to keep us from being focused on what we're supposed to be focused on. And then you lose that, and then just, the fire overtakes.
Well, I would even say like some of the best days that I've had, like just in work, is when I'm in put out fire mode and I'm getting stuff done. I'm taking care of the business, but then somebody comes along my path who needs me, and I can I can not be distracted, like you said, by the fires, and I can see the person.
Yeah.
And then when I can interact with them and say, just give them a word of encouragement or pray for them, and it means the world to them. And I just walk out of that situation. I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't miss it. So glad I didn't miss them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just thank you, Lord, for doing what you're doing. And I don't have to worry about all this stuff around me because it's going to get taken care of. And, it's just one of the things, you can't let that stuff bog you down so far that you can't see the people in front of you.
Or that you're not able to be interrupted. Like sometimes you can be putting out a fire or really checking off your checklist, but like it's important that I'm always looking at interruptions more like opportunities. Like, oh, okay.
You're really good at that. I'm not even good. I'm not good at that like you are. And I just say you can do that because you've got 5 interrupters that are constantly they're in line. They're like literally on shift. They're like, it's your turn this time,
Your turn to bug mom.
Yeah, she's doing book work.
But I feel like what Sarah said is kind of like what I do at home. I don't work here often, but it is like when you're the manager. So if you're managing your household, if you are managing, maybe a group, or you're managing an event, or you're managing your business, it is important to understand that you, as the manager, you set the tone, you set the mood. You basically, you get to determine the atmosphere that everybody's living and working in. And then at the same time, to do your job, but to not be so rigid that you can't be interrupted, because the important things, it's like they'll rise up to the surface and you're like, oh, well, I was dealing with all this stuff over here, but this is now in front of my face. So I should address it. Sarah does a great job of that too. And I just love all the growth you've had in managing, because while she's an extrovert, she's very quiet.
I hate confrontation.
She doesn't like confrontation. I'm not trying to label you. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying this, but it's like she would probably be perceived as more shy. And so I just seeing her thrive and just she's being the leader that she is, it's so fun for me. I know it's fun for Lance. And so if you're wanting to start a business, if you're wanting to start a venture, it is so important that you surround yourself with good people. And then that you take care of them. I know we haven't done the best job, but we've
done the best job.
No, we just so want to meet regularly and what are you needing from us right now? How are you doing emotionally? What is going on in your life apart from blackjacks, apart from everything else? And then how can we come alongside you, because you've already been so loyal and so helpful for us. You're the crucialest part. We would not have done blackjacks if Sarah wasn't on board. And so surround yourself with good people. And when you find those good people, take care of them, love them, serve them, because they're serving you and your store and the vision that you guys have. So thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
You're so awesome.
Thank y'all.
Don't cry, y'all.
Tissue.
It's just YouTube. It's not real. This is TV. Just kidding.
So what's some big takeaways that you've come out with? Places maybe that you think that you've grown, or lessons that you've learned along the way from transitioning out of the Lingoville Country Store to Blackjack to now?
I think managing people is probably the hardest thing for me, because I don't like confrontation. And so whenever I have to confront things, that's it just weighs on me. But I'm trying to learn, don't take it personal. If you don't do that, then you can approach it with just a lot more grace, I think. And then you're not why would they do this? It's more just oh, well, that's not the way we're going to do it. We're going to do it this way. And really just, if someone's not where you need them to be, really like no complaints, but just saying like, how can I get them to the place I need them to be?
Yeah.
And not like, I wish they were here,
Yeah.
or I'm not really sure how to put that, but basically just,
how do you love them to the place where they need to
Yeah.
be? Like, how do you come alongside them and gently guide them and say, like, this is where we should be. This is what's happening. These are like the concrete things, that I've seen. These are the concrete things that I've heard. How can we get you, like, what's going on? What's going on right now? This isn't where you want to be. You don't want to be like, I guess, like slacking off or on your phone all the time or, whatever. Like, I want this to be fulfilling to you.
Yeah. And I think too, just, and I think this is a lesson I learned very early and partly because of stuff that Chelsea had said, and just like girls can be very passive aggressive in the workplace. And we just don't, it's hard for us to say like, I need help. Like, I don't know what that thing is, but I like try to tell all of our employees, like, just ask.
Yeah.
If you're on hotbar and you're slammed and the person that you're working with is not seeing you, like, don't wait for them to see you. Just ask. Because then it's like, well, I'm going to do this louder, like, see if they notice, and so it just gets like, yeah. And so just like learning how to deal with drama before it becomes drama is a big lesson. And then, man, just, I guess trying to manage well. I guess my heart is to help. I love being a helper, whatever that means. And so how like managing that store well helps you guys, or managing well helps my employees, whatever it is, and really trying to have a culture of that with our employees. It's like, where's my heart at, number one, and then where's your heart at of like, am I just getting my checklist done, or am I like, what can I do that's special for the next shift, And it makes a huge difference in the atmosphere.
It's funny, something that you just said that I've never really thought of, but I think makes a whole lot of sense, is that this balance of genders in your coffee shop. And I don't mean like 72 different genders. I mean like just guys and girls, guys act a certain way, girls act a certain way, and it's just fun. It's fun to see that. Like, a lot of times guys can get a little goofy, but they're a little bit more sloppy, but they're super competitive. So that kind of drives a certain atmosphere in your store. And then girls are they tend to be a lot cleaner back here, I feel like. And then also they're a lot more considerate, caring, and that lends a whole different atmosphere. But then also, even like the negative sides of things, like you said, like they can be like a lot of times you notice that they're like more passive aggressive sometimes. And I feel like even guys kind of balance that out, because a lot of times they're not passive aggressive.
They'll just say like, hey.
They're like a bull in a china shop sometimes, and you're like, chill out, But with the balance of both, a lot of times it makes the cafe run a lot smoother. And that's actually something that I try to keep an eye on, is that I don't have all girls working, or I don't have all guys working, that it's a little bit of both all the time. And it just keeps the balance good. It keeps the balance in the atmosphere right. It's really interesting. I knew that I did that, but I never really put my finger on it. So that's funny.
Yeah, and I think too, not just that, but like learning how each person trains.
Yeah.
How do I need to, like, do I need to draw a picture? Do I need to like make you just sit down and write the recipes? And so just learning, like, even with gender or whatever it is, like person to person, like how does this person learn, and how can I help them like learn all of the stuff, or interact with customers, or whatever they're learning.
They're all individuals, and they're all a little bit different, And so you have to kind of like tailor things to the way.
Yeah,
that
just
they
like
learn.
customers. I mean, try not to have a script with them because they're unique. Like
Right.
you're gonna, in a management position, you're gonna interact with your employees uniquely because they're like, that's what God does, you know? It's like.
So I like that too, even on this idea of conflict, because that's not something that I shy away from typically. It's something like I don't like passive aggressive, you know? I'm like, let's get in there and get this hammered out and get this relationship back where it needs to be. Like, let's do it. And so a lot of times what I'm trying to do with my employees is if I know there's some kind of a conflict, I'm trying to see it from their perspective and then come at them in such a way that says like, I care about you. I want this to work. Like, I'm not here to fire you. I'm here to help you. Yeah. And we had a great conversation with an employee the other day that just, you know, we had a few customers come in and just say, you know, they were really rude to me, which is like a huge no-no in my book. And I'm just like, this has to be taken care of. Like, we cannot have an employee being rude to someone. Like, I can't have an employee being rude to my boss, you know? And so every customer that comes in the door, I work for them. And so my big deal was like, let's find out what's going on here, because, you know, if she's rude in the workplace, she may not even know that she's doing that. She might just be stressed, or she might be distracted, or it might be something like we're saying, like we come in and we're so hyper focused on what we're doing. When that customer walks in, we're like, darn it, I'm just trying to, you know. And then we're already in this mindset when they walk in where we're just like, oh my gosh, just get out of my store, you know? And all of a sudden we're like, what's the point of all this? We just missed the whole point, you know? So we just had to talk through that, and, you know.
Yeah, I think it's just reminding them and reminding yourself before you approach someone. It's like, this is what I'm wanting. I'm not wanting them to fail. I'm wanting them to be at this place. And so you kind of just learning to approach it like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think a lot of bosses, they're really quick with the axe. Just say like, just get rid of them and get another one, you know? And it's like, man, if we just view people as indispensable, I really feel like we could have really solid employees and have them over a long length of time, which is what you want with your employees. You want them building the relationship with the customer. You want them building the relationship with you, and you want them getting more and more familiar with the coffee, more and more familiar with how things work. And that way it just becomes kind of second nature to them. But if you fire everybody, it just doesn't work like that, you know?
Just learning. Go ahead.
No, well, I was just going to say, my cigarette is almost gone.
Oh, okay.
So
Here.
we might have to start wrapping this up.
Okay. All right. Well, this was really good.
Yeah, it's so good.
Thank you, guys.
Sarah's going to be back on, so be looking for her. This is not our only Sarah time, but we're just so proud of her and all that she's done, and we really wanted to give you guys her perspective and kind of let you on her journey as a manager and as someone who gets to be a part of this vision we have and what that looks like. So we really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. And yeah, anything else, Lance?
That's it. Thank y'all for checking out Coffee Snob Podcast. Check us out Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're here. We got Lingoville Country Store. We got Blackjacks, and soon to come. So we'll see you there.